So we continue our ranking episodes and we are moving further up the pitch and things are already getting interesting. Today we are going to the CAMs, those that are not just midfielders but also have an eye for goal and they are further up the pitch and all of that. Everything here, like I always say, our interpretation of the position is different. So you can expect different answers from myself, Victor, and Max. Don't expect to always see the same or similar players. And on that note, we'll get right into it, Max. Tell us your number 3 pick for the top 3 CAMs in Premier League history.
As usual, we start with Man United player, and you never expect him to be here, but obviously, not taking in mind how poor we are doing in last couple of years, Bruno Fernandes was so good, and he never got below 20 goal scoring actions in all competitions. In one season he had 45 goal scoring actions, in second season in Prem, and it's definitely an insane result for the player at Man United. He won 2 trophies, he got 2 times he was the goal scorer of the season in the Europa League, and I mean he's the only player while Man United is still in league, so you should respect this.
I wish I could put up this video now, but I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. I can see the look on Victor. Victor is so shocked for emotions right now, man. Anyways, that's something I never expected to hear, even in my dreams. I promise you.
I think I might as well log off now because how do you follow up on that?
Victor, without wasting more time, give us your number 3 pick.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start with a little disclaimer, and I think especially for older fans, it's going to make more sense. My picks this week are more down to the eye test than anything else. I always felt like the attacking midfielders are more about emotion and nostalgia and the romantic side of football than any other position. Some attacking central midfielders, EPL or not, they're not talked about enough, I feel. Amazing players from any time in the past 3 decades. I don't know, like Rui Costa or Riquelme or Cazorla even. It's rather about player we enjoy watching more than about the medals in their trophy cabinet. So some of these picks might be a bit surprising because of the trophy cabinets, just like Max's was. But yeah, I think that's why. So my number 3 is actually Mesut Ozil. He was a brilliant playmaker. He could play some amazing defense splitting passes and look absolutely effortless doing that. I I realize he was not the hardest of workers, but some players just that damn good that they don't need to make, I don't know, 55 sprints and run 17 kilometers for the sake of it. And Özil was one of those people, one of those players who he could do things with the ball that are just pipe dreams for most players. So I just loved watching him, and he's my number 3.
Yeah, fair enough. And for me as well, it was a tough call between Ozil and my number 3 pick. But going by, if I'm just going to narrow it down to one and someone who was more rounded, I think I had to go with Coutinho. Just going by their pick, I'm going with Philip Coutinho as my
Wow.
number 3. Yeah, and I'm going with Coutinho because this, when you talk about Ozil, you know that okay, he has an eye for a killer pass. He could split defenses and whatnot. But in terms of goals, he was more or less a passenger in that regard. But Coutinho is someone that could give you everything. Those wow moments, he had the set piece ability. He also had the killer pass as well, and he could score. He could also play on the flanks. He was versatile, but his attacking potent was unmatched. I mean, from a central attacking midfield perspective, I'm just going with Coutinho slightly because he was more rounded in my opinion, and that makes him just slightly edge my number 3 pick ahead of Ozil, slightly, just slightly.
To me, that's as big of a shock as it was Max picking Fernandes.
Yeah, I mean, Ozil came to Arsenal it was past its best was actually with Real Madrid, to be fair. He did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
come to Arsenal in his best years. So, anyways, but yeah, moving on, Max, please tell us you don't have any more shockers in your sleeves. So
Yeah,
tell us your number two.
we continue with Manchester, but not United this time. It's City, and I was thinking between two, both from City actually. And on second place, I'll go with David Silva, only because he wasn't that consistent throughout all his time. At the end of his career, he wasn't really started at City a couple of years. He was just a super sub, I'd say, but he was still a leader in team and in dressing room. He won a lot of trophies with two different Man City teams, and his long range passes were brilliant. And he's probably one of the best players in terms of. um I mean, his ability to hold the ball, he was brilliant in that term. So I'll go with him on my number two.
Yeah, Max. I mean, Victor, your number two pick.
Yeah, after that shocker, it's in number three for Max. It's actually an even bigger shock for me that we actually agree for the number two. It's also David Silva for me. It was just such a joy to watch, and you hit the nail right on the head with a lot of things you brought up. And one thing that always stood out for me with him was the fact that in a world of giants, he always looked like a lightweight. You know, his frame, the way he moved about the pitch, but he was more able than most to get you on your feet. We talk often about this X factor in players, makes you think something could happen 9 times out of 10 when he receives the ball. David Silva was that. I'm picking him here for the entertainment factor, sure, but his trophy cabinet's not too shabby either.
Yeah, stranger things have happened, but my number two pick is also David Silva. I mean, I really don't need to explain after the explanations from Max and Victor. It pretty much speaks for himself. The fact that his arrival, coincided with the change of fortunes, for City, just shows the impact he has. And when you think of CAMs in Premier League history, there's no way your mind would not go to David Silva. There's just no way. So yeah, on that note, we are moving on to the number one pick, and I think everybody should have the same number one, except if Max is going to shock us. So Max, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the third time I picked the player from Manchester, and he is Kevin De Bruyne, obviously. I mean, he was joy to watch all the time. He was so consistent in terms of attacking skills. Even in defense, he was pretty good at the moments. And also, he was named 2 times the player of the year. And for the midfielder, it's a pretty good achievement, I'd say. He won pretty much a lot of everything. He won every single tournament he could win in Premier League. So otherwise, his skills still, even at the moment he left Premier League, are pretty much on the highest level of the league, and this shows a lot. So I'll go with him number one.
Mm. Victor, your number one. It seems like you have a different option. Mm.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
if you guys remember, I picked De Bruyne for box to box CM, and
Yeah.
I think with my pick now, if you've been watching our videos and didn't see this coming, it's totally your fault. My number one pick is Steven Gerrard. I left him out. So the reason why I swapped them, basically, Gerrard and De Bruyne, was if you look at their styles of play, you could tell that De Bruyne was a pure box to box, shoehorned further up the pitch, whereas everything for Gerrard, even when he played box to box, his instinct was to go further up. So I put them the other way around simply because of that. But yeah, about Gerrard, I don't know. I could sit here and talk about him until the end of time. He was just magical. The fact that he never won the Premier League should be seen as heartbreaking if you're a Liverpool fan or not. Um, truly one of the greatest players of his generation. Even though even for my standards, he falls a little bit short of Zidane's pure footballing ability. Gerard could rally the troop like none other, and the fact that he still had the amount of success he did alongside players who were nowhere near his level is just astounding. Ever since Liverpool started rising again about 2 years after Klopp took over, I have always thought what a team this would be with a prime Stevie G in it, and he's my number one pick for CAM, and it's not even close.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, if you're going to pick a number one that is not who everybody expects, and you pick Steven G, I don't think anybody will be able to come for you based on the fact that he's Steven Gerrard. But on that note, my number one is the same with Max as well. It's Kevin De Bruyne, and Kevin De Bruyne was so good that you could call him a CM, you could call him a CAM, you could call him several positions. And at some point, he played just behind the striker for City for a period of time, and he was good across multiple positions. That's just how good he was. So for me, De Bruyne has the goals, he has the assists, he has the eye test, he has the individual awards to back it up, and he's just absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. He's the number one pick. But I mean, if you say Steven Gerrard is the number one, I would not argue with you as well. That's like a name that you can't argue against. So on that
Yeah,
note,
I mean, think about how good he was playing just off Torres back in like end of the 2000s, the
yeah,
2008, 2009.
nine.
He was absolutely unplayable as an attacking midfielder, and that was pure instinct.
Fair enough, fair enough. No one can argue with that. Well, on that note, we've come to the end of our top three rankings in the central attacking midfield position, and we'd like our viewers to come and join us in the conversation. Is Philip Coutinho deserving of a top three spot? Is Bruno Fernandes worthy enough to be mentioned in this video? Tell us what you think. Tell us your thoughts
Soon
about some of the
number one soon.
Tell us your thoughts about some of the names you've heard in this video, specifically about Bruno Fernandes being in the top three in the CAMs in Premier League history.